So today's video is going to be my favorite wines of all time, part 2. So part 1 came 2 years ago. Let me tell you why. Because since then, I usually include all of my wines in my monthly favorites. Now this summer, I did like a summer wine video. However, I feel like you can take those wines and serve them at this time of year anyways. But today I really wanted to focus on wines for entertaining, wines for housewarming gifts. Tis the season. We are in full-blown celebrating mood around here and just in general around the world. It's that time of year where there's just a lot of get-togethers going on. Even if it's just a Friday night, your girlfriends are coming over, like you're not celebrating Christmas or gift giving or any of that type of thing. These are all wines that you can bring, gift, and enjoy. They are my all-time favorites as of late. And so let's get into it. Forgot to mention the best part. These are all around $20 or less. Also, follow me on Instagram. This is where I post a lot of my wines before I get around to gathering a video. Instagram is where I post all of my wines that I am currently enjoying. I'll also link part 1 below and just my wine playlist in general. So welcome if you are new. Do not forget to subscribe and leave below in the comments your absolute favorite wines of life. The first one I want to talk about, I just took this out of my fridge. I have one lovely glass left. This is the Chevriot. I'm going to butcher these names, okay, guys? You just have to give me some grace. Chevriot 2017 Chardonnay from California. The label really sucked me in because it's got some cute little trees on the outside of it here. Let me just tell you, this is an unexpected, absolutely delightful Chardonnay. We have flavors and aromas of pear, vanilla cream, a little bit of toastiness, and some tropical fruit. And that's what I love about this Chardonnay, is the fact that it offers the depth and complexity of flavors, but yet it's still very light. It's still a little bit fruity, a hint of creaminess. That oak really just adds that depth that I'm referring to, but not overkill. So if you don't like a really oaky Chardonnay, I think you would still enjoy this. Quite frankly, what would you drink this with? I've been drinking it just by itself. We had a delicious pasta dish the other night, appetizers, Christmas movies, in your pajamas. Like, it's just such a delightful, easy drinking Chardonnay. You guys, I may have found my all-time favorite Pinot Noir. That means that it's gonna top my #1 favorite, which is in this list. But I just so happened to pick this up. This is the Castle Rock Winery. This is a Pinot Noir 2018 from the Willamette Valley in Oregon. Oregon produces some fantastic Pinot Noirs. If you are an avid Pinot Noir drinker, you probably already know this. If you are new to Pinot Noirs, you need to head on over to the Oregon wines, because there's something about growing the grapes in that climate that just produces such just a delicate yet delicious Pinot Noir. So what I love about this Pinot Noir is that it's a nice medium body. Now, my all-time OG favorites as far as a red wine is concerned, I've always been a Cabernet girl at heart. But over the last few years, I've really been delving into a Pinot Noir. And why I didn't like them in the past was I felt like they were just too light. It felt like tea to me. And as a person that loves like a really heavy, full-bodied Cabernet, I thought, I don't know. But this is delightful. So this is going to give you flavors and aromas of berries, cinnamon, black cherry, sweet vanilla oak, floral notes. It's got a very lovely finish. Like, there's no bitterness or not even very much spice in this, and I think that's why I gravitate towards this so much, is because I don't like a lot of bitterness in my wines. I don't like something too spicy. I like a wine that can be very palatable, a very approachable wine, because most of the time I'm having a glass while I'm cooking dinner, or I'm cooking with it, or I like to just have a glass of wine at night to relax, watch some TV. So most of the time I'm drinking wine without eating, without pairing food with it. And some wines really need a pairing. They're just a little bit too spicy for my taste. But this Pinot Noir, I highly recommend you give this a gander. It is absolutely delicious. Great for this time of year. Goes with chicken, veal, salmon, pasta, appetizers, candy bars, whatever it is that you want to drink this with. This next wine, I don't have the actual bottle, so the things that I don't have bottles of currently, I will just insert my Instagram post about it. But this next one is a Mark West Chardonnay. This is a vintage 2016 wine. I bought this at the grocery store. No, check that. I bought it at the gas station. They also do sell it at the grocery store, but I was in a pinch, okay? We were having chicken piccata. I was craving a nice, yummy, delicious white wine. I went to the gas station, and lo and behold, they had this bottle. I think it was $9.99, which means you could probably find it cheaper elsewhere, because gas stations, probably mark up for a little bit of make a little bit of profit. But what I'm saying is, for a $10 Chardonnay, you need to give this one a look. This shocked me, honestly. I didn't have high expectations. I'd never tried it before. Citrus and pear aromas. It's got a lush peach, melon, green apple, and mineral flavor to it with a little bit of a toasty oak finish. So once again, you have that fruit juxtaposition with something that's going to give the wine a little bit more depth. I don't like something that's too single note or a little bit flat, and too minerally of a wine will taste very just blah to me. So I love those luscious fruits paired with a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of oak. To me, my favorite types of wines are ones that incorporate all the different aspects of a wine, whether it be the acidity, the sweetness level, the tannin quality. Does it have a little bit of spice, a little bit of bitterness? I like a little bit of everything put together, and I think that's what creates a really nice, well-balanced wine. Now, this is another unexpected love. I just kind of, the label of this one, honestly, labels suck me in, okay? I usually go and read the description of the wine, or I take recommendations when I'm going to find a new wine. But this one, the label kind of sucked me in, and I kind of got out my phone and I was reading about it, and I'm like, okay, let's give this a gander. This is the Mother's Milk Syrah. This one is a very soft, textured, and a little bit slurpy of a wine, but not so slurpy that it's just syrupy gross. It's different. It's very intricate and interesting. Got a good acidity, which you need a little bit of acidity to kind of balance out the berryness of a wine. If it's too fruit forward, it just can be a little bit too soft, slurpy, and sweet. But because of the acidity, it really gives it a nice balanced feel. Very beautiful colored wine, a nice garnet color in the glass with a little bit of a purple hue. It's got a very complex nose with some dark cherry and blackberry notes to it. But the bottom of the wine gives a little bit of spice and a little bit of like a forest, like you're walking through the forest like at dusk. It has all this complexity going within and through the wine, but at the same time it's so approachable. You want to have a second glass, maybe a third. It's definitely a wine you want to share with friends. I was just very impressed with it and would recommend it. Conundrum. This came as a recommendation to me. I was in the wine aisle, and I like to talk to the managers of the places that I shop at, because they're the ones putting in the orders for wine, and I like to get their recommendations. And this next wine just so happened to be one recommended to me, and we were talking back and forth, and I was, listing off some of my all-time favorite wines. He's like, you know what, it sounds like we like the same things. Here's one of my favorites. So I picked up this 2017 California wine by Conundrum. It is a red blend. This has velvety aromas of floral notes with tones of lavender, dried berries, and baking chocolate. So upon first sip of it, it's very silky. And anytime I encounter a wine that feels silky in my mouth, it's an absolute favorite, because it's just smooth, it's easy, it just goes down so well. It has a little bit of acid to balance out all of the fruit notes once again, and it's a very medium-bodied, elegant wine. I love a good medium to full-bodied wine with all of those aspects. I love a little bit of fruit, I love a little bit of silk. Hey, throw in some vanilla and chocolate and you've got me sold. Now, maybe you're not a red or a white wine drinker and rosé is your friend. Let me just tell you, Trader Joe's has a rosé for $4.99, and it is fantastic. It's called Carayon La Rose. It's a rosé from the south of France, and I usually don't have high expectations for wines that are like around the $5 price point. But I was very curious because at Trader Joe's, it came upon recommendation, because you know how their workers can kind of like recommend things to you, or they like fill out those little cards. Well, anyways, I saw the description of this and it intrigued me. So it's a spicy floral nose. It has a good amount of crispness. It's got a lot of watermelon and strawberry. So when I think about those things, I think summer wine, right? But there's no reason why you can't enjoy that now, especially with some good cheeses and good Christmas cookies. Once again, it's just I wanted to give you a variety of grapes here to choose from, not just my favorite Cabernets and red blends, but some whites, and obviously include rosés. Rosés I've only been really trying out for the last few years. Prior to that, I just wasn't as drawn to them. I've always been drawn to those really delicious red wines, but this is a fantastic rosé. Now we are to the wine that made me fall in love with Pinot Noirs. It is the Meiomi Pinot Noir. I have talked about this numerous times on my channel and included this in other similar lists of wines that I thoroughly enjoy. This is a California wine. The one I specifically am talking about and referencing currently that I just drank up was a vintage 2017. This is just how you do Pinot Noirs. This is a lovely, lovely, rich, garnet color wine with lots of fruit. So much aromas of strawberries, jammy fruit, a little bit of mocha, a little bit of vanilla, some yummy toasty oak. There is on the nose, you smell so many different kinds of berries in this. Blackberry, boysenberry, dark cherry, juicy strawberry. There's just so much complexity to this wine, so much fruit, so much easy drinking qualities to this. I am sharing this because I feel like this is a red wine that really drinks a little bit heavier, kind of like the Willamette one I already referenced. I would say the Meiomi is even maybe a little bit more of a medium-bodied wine than even this one is, but it just has so much characteristics to it. It's just this wine has personality. And I love a wine that has personality. You just know when you take a drink of this, you're like, this is good. What is this? I feel like you can give me a glass of this at a restaurant, and I didn't order it, and I would know, okay, this is Meiomi Pinot Noir. It's just so good. I highly recommend it. I feel like it pairs and stands up to a lot of different types of foods as well, even though it tastes delicious by itself. If you're not a meat eater, this is lovely with those non-meat meals, especially a good margarita pizza, because that is often how I drink this wine, is with a good margarita pizza. I think this is an excellent choice for any get-togethers, housewarming gifts. I think all wine drinkers of varying palates will appreciate this Pinot Noir. And the last wine I saved for last because I feel like this is a lovely dessert wine, even though it doesn't have to just be. But if we're going to put a label on it, this is a fantastic choice. I am talking about the Thomas Schmitt Riesling from Germany. This is such a harmonious, well done, sweet, but a little bit restrained Riesling. When I first drank this, I took the first sip. This was another one of those things, I just bought it, wanted to try it. And a lot of these wines I just kind of stumbled upon. I'm just like, okay, I like the description on this. Let's give this a try. You will love this Riesling. Now, for those of you who love a really sweet, sweet wine, this is not going to be it. If you're anything like me, I don't mind some sweetness quality to my wine, but I don't want it to taste like Kool-Aid. Like, there's a time and a place for Kool-Aid, but I don't like it to interfere with my wines. This Riesling is so well done. This is so well done. It's beautifully sweet. Not overkill in the slightest. Like, it is just balanced enough with the notes of berries and juiciness, but it's got a little bit of I feel like it's got a little bit of parental restraint, just kind of, you're having fun, right? But you're still safe. Like, you're not out of control. We're not stopping traffic. We're not rolling around in the middle of the freeway. Like, this is just beautifully done. It almost feels like a symphony. You know how in a symphony you have the bass notes, you have the flutes, you have the drums, you have the cymbals. Like, there's a time and place for everybody to play, and this Riesling is that place. I feel like my descriptions today are on point. I am killing it. But for real, I think that all of these wines that I'm referencing are just great for not only this time of year, but I feel like they're all balanced wines. Like, there's a little something in this list for everyone, whether you're an avid wine drinker, you're new to wines, maybe you've never tried one before. I would probably start with either the Riesling or even the Rosé. However, just telling you that Pinot Noir, jump on these two Pinot Noirs, and even the Chardonnays I've referenced. All of these are wonderful wines, and they're not all super fruit forward, because I know in the past, especially in my earlier days of recommending wine to you, I was new to wine, and I still feel this way. Like, if you are new to trying wines, start with the more fruity things. Start with things that are a little bit sweeter. And as you develop your palate, you're going to start to back away from that and become more adventurous and try more things. But when you first start drinking wine, by golly, don't start with Chianti. You're going to hate it. You're going to be like, I don't like all wine. I made that mistake. And I started with Chianti, and I'm like, Chianti has a time and a place, okay? It's probably not porch rockin', but it most definitely is bumped up against a delicious, homemade, cheesy, gooey lasagna. So please let me know what you guys think if you've tried any of these wines, what your feelings are. I always love to hear your feedback. Of course, wine is a very personal thing, kind of like mascara and foundation. Like, we're all different, we all like different things, but I really feel like these wines come from a place of balance. They come from a place that includes everyone. And let me know what you've tried out of this list, if any, and how you felt about it. Don't forget to check out all of my other wine recommendations. Of course, monthly I have wine recommendations, but I'll include a specific playlist in the description box as well as part 1. Please check out part 1, and I'm also going to link a video I did this summer of some of my favorite wines that I was drinking this summer. And I feel like, yeah, I put summer on it because they were a little bit more summer-esque, but there's no reason why you can't enjoy any wine at any point in the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season, a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll chat again very soon. Bye, guys.